Hello and welcome to another video of All Things Random. Here is my cork base. I'm not sure what model it is, but what I'm going to do is relocate this kill switch, a little on and off switch that I have fitted to it, that was fitted by a chap who actually hand wound these pickups, but I can't remember his name. I will remember it shortly. So I'm going to relocate this to a more convenient position, because as I try to switch it on and off, these buttons are in the way, and sometimes I have to do it quite quickly, so I'm going to relocate it here somewhere. So as you can see on the back, whoops, don't treat your instrument like that. Shut up. Sorry about this. Right, so there is the switch itself that I'm going to relocate here somewhere, so I'm hopefully going to drill a hole through there, bore a hole, and I'm going to make a new cover plate for it there. As you can see, there's not a lot of room in this control cavity. So let's get the drill out. So trying to drill with one hand, hold the camera with another is not easy. This is not recommended, but I'm going to drill a hole somewhere about here. Pilot hole, if you like. Yeah, I think there. Maybe under the pickup. Maybe under that one, because that's where my fingers are going to be. Oh, under that one. It's hard to see. I'm going for it. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. Oh, here we go. Pilot hole, come in. Oh shit. Helps if you use a sharp drill bit. I know, it's not very exciting. There's the pilot hole drilled. Right, I'm going to drill the other bits and show you what the result of that. Okay, so I've drilled my pilot hole. Now what I need is to make a hole suitable for the kill switch itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a 35mm. First of all, I'm going to use this 35mm zip bit or flat bit just to score deep enough to create a recess as the control plate. So that'll house my cover plate. Then I'm going to follow on and drill an 18mm hole, not all the way through, but close enough to get this shank part of the thread of the kill switch. So there'll be an 18mm bored hole which suitably should take the body of the switch itself. Now to make the cover plate, I'm going to use this hole saw, which is about 40mm is the hole saw, and what I'm interested in is the inner diameter. Now normally you'd use a hole saw with the arbor and a guide bit like that, but I'm going to take this guide bit out because I don't want the hole in the centre, because normally when you use a hole saw, it's the inside part that you cut out that you throw away, and it's the actual hole that you want to create to pipes or wires or whatever you might be using it for. But in this case I want the actual centrepiece to create my cover part for the kill switch. So I'm going to remove the guide bit and then just use it freehand. I don't have a drill press. Normally you'd be best off using it with a drill press. No, I've got my 35. I can't use my Forstner bit either. I thought about using a Forstner bit. Actually, I could use a Forstner. If I had the correct size Forstner bit, I could use it on that, but I don't. I'm going to use a zip bit. But anyways, I'm going to make my cover for this out of an old laptop lid, because I've got a couple of laptops that I've just bastardised, and they were actually in the recycling bin, but I've dragged this out. So I'm just going to, like I say, somewhere here, I'm going to bore the hole, cut it out, and that section is what I'm after. Now my zip bit that I'm going to use to create the recess part is 35mm. It's a little bit smaller than that, but that's okay, because the piece that I'm going to get out there was going to be a little bit big. It might just be ever so slightly raggy, and then I'm going to sand it nice and perfect as a perfect circle to sit in the hole. But back to the laptop lid, which I'm going to use, which is quite handy because it's just a piece of plastic. It happens to be blue. Blue and brown don't go together, but I'm not that bothered because it's at the back. And the good thing about it is it's shielded. There's already some foil shielding on it, which is handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of wood. I'm going to sit it on a piece of wood, not my lovely oak worktop, drill the hole, and off we go. So wish me luck. I'm going in. I could destroy this beautiful guitar, but fortunately it's cheap. It's my gigging instrument, or it will be my gigging instrument once I get a convenient switch back into it. So let's see what happens. First part of the bore hole and the cover plate cut, rough cut. Right, the second part of the bore hole drilled. Now I need to open up that hole just to receive the shank bit, and then drill a hole through for the cables so I can connect them up to these bad boys. Right. Oh, right, okay. Right, so I've dry fit the switch. So I need to wire it up, so I'll turn it around and wire it up. So I'm just making sure it actually fits. It's not quite how I want it because I want it to be down in the vertical down for the on position and up for off, for obvious reasons, because I don't want to be hitting it and switching it off whilst playing. So I'll get it wired up and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so it's all wired in. I have the switch is in place there, it's wired in. I got some shielded cable that I had kicking around on the thin stuff. The wires were red and purple that was connected up. I've got red and blue, I think it is, so red to red, blue to purple. Nobody really cares. So I'm going to get the cover back on and then make the cover for this and then test it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so here is the cover plate that I've made to cover the new hole I made for the kill switch. If you remember, I made it out of an old laptop lid. You see that there? I drilled it out. As you see, I didn't have a drill press, so I skated around on the first attempt. The second time I just clamped it with my feet and drilled it out using that hole saw. And if you remember, the hole saw was a little bit bigger than the flat bit that I used, so I've had to sand it down. Mounted a sander in my vise and I just sanded it a couple of mil down to make it fit nicely. And like I said, this already came with a bit of shielding on it, but it's not glued all the way, so it came off. So it's, oop, that's gone down there. So it works out quite nicely that the reverse side is black. See, I skated, I missed there. So the black part just fits in there nicely, and I don't think that looks actually too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a couple of holes, countersink them, glue the I've got some sticky back plastic, as I used to say on Blue Peter. Glue some shielding on there. I should probably put an earth on it as well. I mean, if I had more time or were bothered, I could make an entire cover out of the lid, but that would require me making a jig, so I could route it out so it could be nice and neat, but I'd have to make a jig and that'd probably take me all day to make the jig. But for what this bass is, it's going to be a gigging bass. Every weekend it's going to get knocked about, beer and puke all over it. But for the cheap fix, it's cost me nothing so far. A little bit of cable, but I already had that in stock. Incidentally, I didn't show you how I actually wired this up because it was already pre-wired. I think there was just a switch between the input to the first control pot, but I'm not sure. I'm not an electronics engineer, so there'll be some other YouTube videos on that. This is purely to show you how I've just adapted this switch from an inconvenient position to a more convenient position. Anyway, I'm going to sort that out. See you in a sec. There it is fitted. So I don't think that's too bad really. I know it's a little bit raggy around there, but there's plenty of dinks and scratches on this. But if I want to flog this in the future, I can explain exactly what's happened and say, look, I've just moved this kill switch, it's still a very playable bass. The only thing I have to address is this hole here where the other switch was. Now I might stick another switch in there as a dummy so it looks like it's doing something, or I might put one of those, you know, bucket head type kill switches just for a bit of effects, because I sometimes do mess about with effects, and rather than just hitting the rocker switch I might put a push switch in there, so it serves some kind of purpose. That'll require a bit of wiring, and I'll have to get my electronics guy to have a look at that, but there we go, there we are. So it's a court, it's a action bass, I don't know. I didn't pay a lot of money for it quite a few years ago, and I'm playing it. These, like I said, these pickups were hand made. They're quite high gain, and for me, they're just as punchy as, you know, the Music Man stuff at a fraction of the cost. Right, time to clean it up a little bit, plug it in, and warning, there is some mediocre bass playing coming your way. Okay, the bass still works. Success. Does it kill? It kills. Lovely. So, job done. You might be wondering why a bass player needs a kill switch on his bass. Well, it's because I play piano, or rather keyboards, in the band that I play in. And so to avoid any extraneous bass noises as I might catch the strings, plus the effects that I use on one of the particular songs is a high gain, lots of distortion, lots of overdrive, and it's just howling like mad. So it's just handy, just have it switched off as I play the piano parts, then I move over to bass when needed, and it's just there quickly for a quick transition. In a future video I'll show you my pedal board, my keyboards, the mixer and everything that we use, because it's quite unique, it's a bit different, so people that are interested in that sort of thing, I'll show you that. So thank you very much for watching. This is my first ever video doing this type of content. I wouldn't really call it a how-to type of video, it's just a bit of a geek video showing you why I decided to move a kill switch from an inconvenient place to a more convenient place. If you like this content, please don't smash that like button, just press it gently, because I'm hoping lots of people are going to press it and I don't want you to break it on the first attempt. And hopefully I'll see you on a future video where I'll be showing you different content, different bits of equipment that I've been fettling with, repairing, and who knows, I'll think of ideas and I'll pop them on a video and you may or may not like them. But thank you, God bless, take care, and read that book. Take care, bye.